So I wanted to share this video about how powerful mindset can be in terms of your overall sort of performance. And often when you look at leaders who are trying to achieve certain goals, there's a need to go much deeper beyond just their sort of behaviours, their skills, their competencies, to look more deeply at sort of personality, sort of preferences, but also mindset. So today's video I wanted to share some reflections on that. I've just finished actually a coaching session with a leader, and we were talking about mindset, and the leader was really commenting on some of the breakthroughs they'd had, really recognising that a lot of it was really around their thought process. So in simple terms, if you think about how you operate, yes, you have a set of behaviours, skills, competencies, things that you either sort of consciously, often unconsciously behave at work. You know, we spend a lot of time unconsciously just being at work. We don't often stop and go, why did I say that? Why am I thinking this? How's that affecting my actions? And often for a process of coaching, you're working with a client to raise their awareness and therefore their control over how they think and how they feel. And with that greater awareness comes a level, say, of control and a level of responsibility. So clients generally get better at I suppose, understanding and it's almost catching themselves where they see patterns of behaviours and often patterns of thinking that are either very helpful, so how do they secure those really helpful mindsets, but also when do they can also recognise when things are less helpful. So the client explores, with the support of the coach, mindset. And I guess one of the ways you can describe that is to think about there's patterns of beliefs which you might describe as like your paradigm. So how do you approach a certain situation? There's a good chance that through experience you've built up sort of patterns of beliefs about situations, people, things, and that sets a paradigm, and then often your behaviour flows from that. So a good example would be, let's say for example you're driving your car and somebody sort of cuts you up or it sort of accelerates past you. Now you know that may trigger some thoughts and maybe some behaviours in response to that driving, because you've got a certain paradigm, you've got maybe a belief about that driver. And if you imagine that situation, so imagine yourself in that situation now, you've been driving, maybe they quite dangerously cut you up, or they're accelerating past you, they're honking their horn to get past you, and you'll have a feeling, you'll have an emotion, you'll have a belief about that driver. That's a set of paradigms. If you then say, okay, that driver is now rushing their pregnant wife to hospital and it's an emergency, suddenly with your new understanding and a shift of the paradigm, you have a different set of beliefs and maybe a whole different set of behaviours and thoughts about that situation. So leaders that become skillful in really tuning in to their paradigms, their patterns of beliefs, their ability to stay open and curious to new paradigms, means they are more agile and probably more skillful in navigating situations. I always think the mind's like a parachute. You know, it works best when it's open. So leaders understanding what are the mental models they carry, what are these paradigms. They've served them very well, so it's not about abandoning your mental models, but it is recognising what they are, being more explicit about them, figuring out where they are going to help you, and where do they, in some situations, you have to be curious and aware and have a level of emotional control that you don't just react, you reflect on your paradigm, and then you can respond in a skillful way rather than reacting. So again, leaders I find that are very successful and it comes with that performance and growth and career and all those things that come with that success. They're the ones that can really tune in to mindset and really get a measure of control over that, and are open to being to be able to change. So they can be wrong about a situation. They're innately curious that they might be wrong about a belief, and therefore hold that belief more open. So they hold their beliefs lightly, if that makes sense, and they're prepared to then challenge their own beliefs and have the ability then to say respond intelligently, skillfully, rather than just react. So hope that helps. If that's of interest and you want to have a conversation about that, please reach out. Otherwise, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.